Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm driving this. This is the Audi Q6 e-tron. Actually, this is the SQ6 e-tron, which obviously is an all-new car on an all-new platform. Yes, this is an all-new car underpinned by the new platform known as PPE, which is Premium Platform Electric. Now, the design obviously is an evolutionary design because obviously it looks unmistakably an Audi. Straight away, let's open the front because I think it has got around 64 liters right here of usable storage because obviously this is a born electric platform here. And there needs not be any insulation right there. Washer fluid goes in right here. Let me shut this and show you some interesting bits about this car. This is the first car in the world which has got active light signatures. So there are 8 signatures for the headlights, which is quite cool. It obviously gets dynamic swipe indicators, the inverted Audi grille. There's a front parking camera here. The Audi logo finished in 2D and it says e-tron right here. Now this is the part which they call the tech part of things because there is the radar for ADAS systems. And there are open vents right here for better breathing of probably the electric motor because this is a dual motor setup and this SQ6 actually produces 510 horsepower, can go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 4.3 seconds, which is quite quick. So they have the regular Q6, which is I think 382 horsepower, which goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 5.9 seconds. And obviously the car is like crazy amount of tech. So they have got split lights. This is obviously the DRL, which has multiple signatures, 8 signatures to be precise. And this is the main beam. This is the low beam. This is the high beam. You get front parking sensors. You actually call this the headlight washer. Yeah, it's kind of camouflage. You really can't see it. Meanwhile, it has got self park as well. The car looks really very nice. Now the new platform obviously is quite space age because they have actually reduced the battery, like the number of cells in this, dramatically. So usually the cells are I think more than 400-500 cells. This car has 12 modules with each module having just 15 cells. The result is it has got 180 prismatic cells. And how have they managed to do that? Simply by actually going for longer cells. So what is the advantage of longer cells? First and foremost, with longer cells, they are more denser cells, which means that they have to have lesser cells, and with lesser cells they have to have less connectors, fasteners and all those things, which reduces the weight of the battery and also reduces the size of the battery. But aren't longer cells not that safe because in case of combustion it's going to catch fire much faster? Yes, that is true. So what Audi has done is put a sensor on each individual cell so they can monitor everything, which is quite crazy now. Yeah, and this car has the 800 volt architecture, which means that it can charge with a 270 kilowatt DC ultra fast charger from 10 to 80% state of charge in just 21 minutes, which is blisteringly quick. In fact, I think it can add like 250 odd kilometers in just 10 minutes of charging. Obviously, you have to find a massive charger, which is a 270 kilowatt DC fast charger, which obviously will take its own sweet time. The length of this car is approximately 4.8 meters. Meanwhile, the wheelbase is 2.9 meters and they've done a lot of aggressive cuts and creases here. So you will notice this right here, which merges with the light, and I think I have not shut the hood only properly, so there I kind of faltered. Let's try that once again. Bang, close it. Now that is shut. Coming to the tires of this car, because this is the SQ6, it is obviously running on bigger tires. The front tire size is 255/45/21s. It gets red colored brake calipers. The Audi logo is always facing the right direction, so I think it has been weighted now. Says RS right there on the alloys as well. It gets a camera on the side too, and it says e-tron here because obviously the battery pack is placed somewhere there. Again, this is very aggressive design. They actually call it the Quattro something. I'm not able to remember that at the moment. The rear tire size is actually bigger. So the tire size at the rear happens to be 285/40/21. So the base actually starts with 18-inch wheels, then 19, 20, 21s, and a lot of alloy wheel design. I think you have the option to choose between 8 to 10 alloy wheel designs as well, which is quite crazy. You get request sensors on all the doors, and this car will obviously charge slower using a regular charging port. Regular charger, but with DC it can charge really fast. Obviously at the rear you're getting something which will not get in India, darkened tinted glasses. This is actually the AC charging port. It is a little slow in the way it opens. Yeah, it's taking its own sweet time. So only AC charging happens from here. How do I shut it? Just push it like this and then it will go back inside. Meanwhile, DC charging option is there on the other side, obviously, because it has to charge really fast as well. Let me do one thing. Let me get inside this car. So rear seat experience, we shall see. Obviously, seat quality and all is fantastic, but they have no screens here, which is quite surprising. Legroom seems adequate. Under-thigh support is not the best. Headroom is good, but this particular car has no sunroof, which is quite surprising. Light placement here on the top. Oh, touch control, huh? And you have a handle to hold on to. Height adjustable seat belts at the front. That is the dashboard, which looks quite nice. It's so crazily done. It's awesome. And if you notice something, there's a light there on the dashboard, which I'll talk in a bit. It says Bang & Olufsen because this car has got 20 speakers, including speakers in the headrest as well. Yeah, that is right. So it is, I think, 830 watt output, which is quite nice. You get magazine holders here. Yeah, some hard plastics here and there. Center passenger gets a head. You get a center armrest with twin cup holders. There's no hump as such, and you also get AC controls here at the rear. AC vent design is also quite nice. I quite like it. Multiple airbags, red stitching. You have got multiple options in terms of the seats and fabrics and whatnot. Plus, you can opt for sustainable materials as well on the interior, which uses recycled PET bottles instead of using leather and all. So yeah, that's also very much possible. And you get ISOFIX child seat mounts here. Red stitching is quite nice. You get ambient lighting there, and obviously you get this thing, the rear sun blind, which is obviously manual, because this is like the mid-range electric car from Audi, which sits lower than this is the Q4, and the electric car from Audi, which sits above this, is obviously the Q8. Meanwhile, I am going to spin the car further ahead. So this is the key with which I spin the car. Press a button and now it will start turning. So this car's platform, the premium platform electric, is actually shared or was co-developed with Porsche and the Macan BEV, the Macan second generation, which is only electric. That one also uses the same platform. Anyways, the most interesting part about this car has to be the taillights. So this is actually OLED, which is the very first time that OLED has come in a car, which is absolutely crazy because Audi is always pushing the boundaries when it comes to light technology. They look similar to other Audi cars. Obviously, those are the rear fog lamps, but they have got light signatures wherein they can also tell you messages. So the hazard lights are on. That's the reason it is showing me the warning triangle right there. You obviously get the dynamic swipe indicator, you get a rear spoiler, you get a high mounted stop lamp as well. It has this sort of a finishing here for the SQ6, but this S will be missing if the regular Q6 has the S-line package. Meanwhile, it has this diffuser treatment right here. You can see the underbody of the vehicle. And straight away, I think it's time for us to open the boot. Before that, you notice the dynamic swipe indicators. So Audi is doing some crazy lights. The boot carrying capacity, I think, is 526 liters, somewhere around that. You get lights at the rear. In fact, I can put the seats down by pulling this. So it's a 60-40. Yeah, but I think it is a 20-40-40, something like that. Meanwhile, you can increase or decrease the ride height pressing a button because obviously it has got air suspension. So if you want to make it easy to put in stuff, just press that button. The ride height will decrease as well, which is quite cool. So a lot of storage space here. Meanwhile, below this, you don't get a spare wheel. Instead, that is the charging cable, that is the subwoofer, and there's sort of an area here for storage as well. Obviously, this is a powered tailgate. There is the light. By the way, this is the first Audi electric car to be made in Germany because I think the Q8 has been made in Brussels. And they have modified the line of the A4 and the A5 in Ingolstadt. I can't even pronounce that, but that is what signifies on the number plate. This is for Deutschland, which is obviously Germany, SQ6, because this is the SQ6, obviously. So I didn't show you the key. Now it feels a bit too plasticky. Yeah, this key is very plasticky. So it has this S badging here. Unlock the car, lock the car, and this is to open the boot of the vehicle. Will it open right now because the car is turned on, I think. But I think the seat has some sensor. As soon as you exit the car, now, it automatically shuts the car. So this is where DC charging happens. Come on, open, 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 open. It's taking its own sweet time to open. What is wrong, car? Open. Now it is opening. So yeah, this is one of the slowest opening ports I have seen. And this is for DC, obviously. Let's shut this. Yeah, it will give you data. So the thing is that my Audi app, you can also change the light signatures. So a lot of connected features here, obviously. So straight away, let's get inside this car, which means that it's an all new world right here. For starters, if you notice one thing, this is obviously touch sensitive, but a lot of changes here because the headlight control is right here along with the rear fog. These are the controls for opening or closing the doors, locking and unlocking the car. This is for the memory seats, child lock, and for the window control as well. So yeah, that has changed. Amazing material right here. Sort of Alcantara finish with red stitching, Bang & Olufsen written right here. You get multiple way adjust for the seat along with lumbar. However, you have to manually open the under thigh support. That is the dead pedal. Some secret storage space, which has always been the case with Audi cars. Yeah, they have been offering this since quite a long time. And the dashboard design obviously looks fantastic. The seats are nice and comfortable as well. Has S written right here too. And as soon as I step inside, I realized they have given it a massive curved display. What is that light? That is the interactive ambient lighting. So the hazard light is on, so I'm just going to shut it at the moment. Yeah, it can show you information right there. So when I give an indicator, it shows me that. That is super cool. very much like what Mercedes has done with the S-Class, the latest generation. Light placement here on the top. You get a mirror along with the light here as well. It's quite comfy. There's a screen here. This is actually a 10.9-inch screen for the passenger, wherein there's a lot of stuff. Yeah, karaoke. You can play racing games as well. And the good bit is that the driver is not able to really see what's happening on this side. But so many gadgety things in this car, which is quite crazy, because cars are now becoming gadgets, obviously. Okay, I just want to play a hard game. Let's go. Automotive edition, it says. Accelerator, brake. What do I press? I'm too old for this. Oh my god. Now how do I get out of this menu? Just get me out of this menu. Quit. So I'm not able to figure that out. So I'm just going to turn off the car and turn it on again. And now whenever you turn on the car, it shows you the Audi logo. It does this sort of a light dance as well. Let me show you this crazy heads-up display. It is an augmented reality one. So what happens is when you accelerate now, it will take the heads-up display further from you. When you brake, it will bring it closer and all. It is just amazing. But that is optional, but the whole mechanism for it is humongous. Auto dimming inside rear view mirror. This is a 14.5-inch screen. This is an 11.5-inch screen. So this is the virtual cockpit. This is the MMI infotainment system. You got ambient lighting. You get two USB-C charging sockets there and two cup holders. Nice slider here and some storage space here as well. This is obviously the guest selector. B is for braking mode, I think, and this is for the electric parking brake. This is for the ADAS function. This is for the camera. It gets a 360-degree parking camera, so multiple modes for the camera as well. So you can just change it from here. Let me change this camera mode. Meanwhile, this is the vehicle start button. This is for the drive select. As soon as I get into dynamic mode now, okay, there you can see the lift function will change. So I press dynamic. There the car is actually squatting down in dynamic mode. Meanwhile, in off-road mode, obviously, it will raise the ride height because it has air suspension, boss. And this is for the hazard light, this is for traction control. And thankfully, they have a physical knob for volume and to go ahead and behind the track. Cigarette lighter is also there, something I didn't expect to be there in 2024. But looks like Audi wants to please every buyer. And the AC vents also look quite cool. Meanwhile, you get an ashtray because there's a cigarette lighter. There has to be an ashtray as well. The glove box is lockable, beautifully lined too. This is a curved screen, which feels super nice to hold. The steering, I mean, the screen is not something you hold, but this is touch screen. This is not, obviously, but it's very amazing in terms of quality. The steering feels nice to hold. Again, the 2D Audi logo. A lot of buttons here. Steering heating is also there. Now, pressing this view button, I can change a lot of things. In fact, if I press this button, I change things on the left side. Lap times. Who does a lap time in an electric car? And this is for navigation. You can browse through a lot of information. So everything is easy and it's very tactile because it gives you that sense of pressing something right there. This is obviously for the cruise control. It says S here, flat bottom steering wheel. Using this, I can browse the audio system and also voice commands and all that, because it has got multiple voice commands too, which is quite funky. The treatment on the dashboard and everything being the driver centric is super nice, and then that ambient light, beautiful, really awesome. Let's get into the screen. It can get a bit confusing. Firstly, there's no physical control right now for the air conditioning. However, always you have this menu at the lower half for the air conditioning. So right now I'll just get into the menu and show you the air conditioning controls. You can do a lot of things here. Dual zone climate control, air conditioning. I think this is for seat heating. Yeah, ventilation should be offered for Indian market, hopefully. And let's get out of this menu. And you can browse through a lot of stuff. You can also change the clock settings. I think there are multiple modes for that. Yeah, there you can change the clock settings too. Let me get into the navigation bit. It is starting right now. Again, amazing navigation. So what is this exactly? This is Android Automotive OS. In spite of it being Android Automotive OS, Apple CarPlay definitely works with it wirelessly, obviously. Let's get into the main menu here. So a lot of things to browse through, driver assist and all, because obviously it has got a lot of ADAS functions, digital key, and you have got Alexa, you got YouTube, weather and whatnot. So you are going to get almost all the features which you get on your phone through the App Store. You can download a few things and you can go shopping as well. Your screen is very good. Yeah, it's a bit complex right now, but then I think with time I'll get used to it for sure. Amazing screen. Yeah, the car is filled with a lot of tech here and there. I think the top speed is more than 200 kilometers per hour, somewhere there. And if you get a fast charger, you will be really happy while driving this car because it can charge fast. And how? The audio system is obviously fantastic, and then once the car comes to India, I'm going to play some really nice Punjabi songs for you to experience the car. Let's shut the door, and it has a softness to it. Meanwhile, it says Audi Q6 e-tron Quattro. So this is obviously having a 100 kilowatt hour battery pack. So the net output would be somewhere around 94.9 kilowatt hour. which is good. Meanwhile, they also have a 83 kilowatt hour gross output battery, which might just come with rear wheel drive. So this is obviously quattro all wheel drive. That will just be rear wheel drive only, and that will be lighter, and that will be probably more efficient. The range is up to 625 kilometers WLTP. In the real world, expect somewhere around 450, 480 kilometers. So now obviously the lights have shut because this car wants to conserve the battery all the time. And there is the sensor for the lane keep assist and the rain sensor and all that. So guys, now I think we should take a quick spin in this car. Okay, let's turn on the car. Oh, you don't even realize when it turns on. So many things have changed there. Get into drive mode straight away. You can see those animations there on the dashboard. That is super cool. We get into dynamic mode, where things will obviously become a little red here and there. And I am actually going to reduce the air conditioning. So, menu. All right, let's go. The seating position is a bit different from what I'm used to in driving Audi cars. I kind of feel that things are a little closer to me right now. And it's a bit sunny, but straight away, here we go. I'm just going to do sort of this track following these lines, and the car actually feels quite light and nimble also. Feels quite agile as well. You don't really feel the weight of the battery, which wasn't the case with other cars from Audi, obviously. Steering is very light and it feels very premium to drive. I think my door is open right now, so we're just going to stop here, close the door. So used to soft close doors that I forgot only that that's not going to happen. Anyways, we have all-wheel drive here, Audi's quattro system. We've got 2 electric motors, and this is the Q6, which is I think around 385 horsepower. A lot of torque. Just drives like a regular electric car. All electric cars kind of drive the same, which is extremely smooth, immediate performance, immediate pushback on acceleration. Very smooth, but I can't really tell you about the ride quality of this car because you're driving on such a smooth road. But let's accelerate a bit. There. You don't even realize, because I think the insulation levels have improved so much now that you can't hear a thing on the inside. It feels quite comfortable to drive. Feels really nice, just like every other Audi. Great quality, absolutely smooth, very refined. The heads-up display is very crazy because when you brake, it seems that it's going away from you. When you accelerate, it's coming closer to you. So that's quite fun and funky. And that is the first time I think I touched 100 kilometers per hour because the circuit is so small. But I wasn't that excited to drive the Q6 as much as I am to drive that one, the SQ6, because that one has like crazy power. In fact, in dynamic mode, that also makes sounds on the inside. So let's go there. Okay, I don't understand half the things because the whole cluster and everything is in German right now. Anyways, let's get into drive. Drive select button is there. So this is taking some time to load. We are going to get into dynamic air conditioning. I've obviously turned it off. Yeah, that's off. And straight away, we drive off. Now, because it has these artificial sounds, I can hear something right now. I can hear that the car is ready to go, which means it's time to do a launch control right now. Cameraman, hold yourself because we are going to launch at a great velocity. And off we go. Oh my goodness. That's 116 kilometers per hour instantly. That was fast. And it definitely feels more dynamic. This SQ6 definitely feels way more dynamic compared to the Q6 which we were driving earlier. And because of the sound which is on the inside, the Q6 only has it on the outside, I definitely feel things are a little different here. The suspension also feels stiffer, the steering feels better, it feels nicer. Definitely feels like a better car to drive without a doubt. But obviously more power, 510 horsepower, that's quite a lot of power, and you can feel that power instantly because this car just goes. You accelerate, you get that instant rush. Compared to the current Audi electric cars, obviously it seems like a step up here. Feels really fun, very dynamic as well. Quite nice, yeah, really enjoyable to drive. And I didn't think I would say that about an electric car, but yes, this XQ6 is one of the better electric cars I've driven, other than the Taycan, obviously. Nice. Quite a nice experience driving this car.